He's Tass. It's the Metzger Tassoul Show.
Whoa.
Hello.
Jumping around a little there.
How we doing?
Doing, guys? We're doing good.
Well, yeah.
So while Michael Perry here, just make sure that we are live and sharing, in all the groups. We'll just see and wait for people to jump on here. But anyway,
last time I'd been on was in COVID, which is hard to believe that was 4 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we were talking through everybody through PPP loans.
Wow.
Yeah, feels like yesterday, but
it does. That's
4 years.
Unbelievable. Well, for those of you, before we do introductions and stuff, because I'd like some people to jump on here first. How's the weather going over there, sir, in Oklahoma? I mean, you guys a few weeks ago, it's tornado time, isn't it?
It was unusually late to be having tornadoes, but yes, this year has been really bad. Perfect timing for the new Twister movie to come out. Oklahoma is not like that all the time, but yeah, it happens.
Have you been?
It's interesting. We had a lot of Californians migrate to Oklahoma, and some people from the East Coast as well. As everyone's kind of moving around, and man, they're surprised when they get here. We tell them it's like the Austin of the Midwest, but it's not. It's much hotter, much more tornadoes.
You know, it's so funny because like people in California, they're scared of the hurricanes. We're scared of their earthquakes and wildfires. I'm scared of tornadoes. You guys are scared of hurricanes. You know, I don't know if you're scared of hurricanes, but it just, when you live in a place, I guess you kind of just like,
everything's got its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I've lived here my whole life and I've never seen a tornado. So
really?
Yes. For real?
Yeah. I think everybody thinks they're raining from the skies and they are not.
I think that's because you run down in the basement.
No, I've never been
in the cellar.
Never poked my head up and seen one either. So
right on.
Anyway, so listen, Mr. Michael Dillard, CEO of Century, we appreciate you jumping on and joining us. And you know, for those of you who are coming on, Miss Shelley, how are you? Severe weather is my other job. We have an initiative that this is something that Century wanted to do and talk about and help with the industry, and we'll get into all that stuff. But I know personally, and I think you know probably Shane as well, but I know a little peek behind the curtain with Century, and you guys are more than just a product company. And I also know that there's people like in any business or in any customer of a company, the company lives and dies based on just the last transaction we've made with them, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a uniform or anything. And, you know, sometimes when I see people griping about something, we all make errors. There's always mistakes and stuff, but I think it'd be good that people know that your father, especially your father, is as successful as he is a martial artist at heart, first and foremost, and cares about this industry and the martial arts. And you guys have a culture there at Century to do whatever it takes to better the industry. And I want to make sure everybody knows that. And I appreciate that as a customer, but I get the benefit of seeing that, and not even a fraction of your customers do.
No, so, absolutely. We always joke we're martial artists with a business problem, because the business part's the hard and not fun part, but you know, it's necessary. And through the business, I hope we get to have more martial artists, but in the end, martial arts is what got us here and what we really care about. And we're very passionate about it. I think everybody knows. And if they don't, then, you know, look into it and learn a little bit more. But it's been my father's career and much of the Maya team, Mr. Silverman, Mr. Metzger, now Mr. Tassoul, but helping elevate the industry and make sure that there's still martial arts here tomorrow in America and worldwide. That's one of the most important things we can do, because I really believe in what martial arts does for people.
And you're a martial artist as well.
Every day. I'm part of the 6 a.m. crew. I try to hit it before we get to work, and then we teach our employees here. We have 2 gyms inside of Century, and I even my son trains after school, so I'm usually there to help pick him up and walk him through class as well.
And by the way, I'll just give you props. You had an MMA fight, and did you ever do the second one yet?
No, I'm planning on fighting this January, so we'll see if I can get it live on the internet for everyone to see.
That's great.
Yeah, so
I enjoy it. I mean, it's not a fight to fight. Anybody who's been in one, it's nothing scarier to be intimidated about. It's whether you prepare or not.
which is why I'm not going to fight anymore. Anyway, so listen, everybody. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this initiative and the goal and what Century has been talking about and getting behind for this industry, and for everybody to come together. What are we wanting to do here?
I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, the why 30,000 students in 30 days, why even try to get everyone together to try and get some momentum to even enroll students. But really, you guys, being Mr. Silverman, I think put it best. The other day I was looking at, I didn't have it out here, but the very first ever MA Success we put out.
Keith Hafner.
Yeah.
The opening letter was the 10 million by 2010 initiative to try and help boost participation in martial arts in the United States and get us up to 10 million. And Mr. Silverman said it himself the best. This is a everyone wins initiative. On the business side, selfishly, it's a win-win for payment processors, for schools, and for anybody involved in the business process, for us to get more people involved in martial arts and grow the industry. But from a personal reason, the kid inside of me and the martial artist inside of me, I know how much that martial arts can benefit people. And I know that the martial arts school owners are the catalyst to enroll people, because if we can speak to one martial arts school owner, then they can in turn affect 150 students potentially. The more of those conversations that we can have, the bigger impact we can have. And if the goal is 30,000 students and we can even in any way, shape, or form get 30,000 students enrolled in martial arts, I hope that it has the same impact it did on me. But that's going to be changing 30,000 kids' lives. And I think right now martial arts is one of those things, sports, that people need more than ever, because when you hear about parents and the things they're dealing with their kids and how the world is and divisiveness and our politics and everything, a lot of those answers, like what possibly out there could help me with this situation with my kids being out of control, and they turn on the news and they see the president acting this way, and it's like sitting right in front of
Which president?
You know what? Both of them at this point, I think that qualifies as an answer. So I don't know, it's the right messages inside of martial arts. And so my real reason I want to do this, and I'm pushing everybody so much, is because it's great for the industry. We have to continue growing it to enroll the next generation of martial artists, but America needs it more than anything right now. And I just believe in the power of what our school owners can do and transforming kids through martial arts.
And by the way, just let me interject. What we're talking about is Century is leading an initiative along with Maya to enroll 30,000 students in 30 days. And school owners all over the country and even the world really can participate in this initiative. And the official month that we want to try to accomplish this is the month of September. And I will say there's going to be information on this, but it's free. There is nothing, it costs nothing to participate in joining this initiative, where we will give you, deliverables. We're going to have some webinars leading up to September and then into September to make sure we're holding everybody feet to the fire. And I know Century is working on some things too to commemorate this for any student that does enroll during this initiative. So again, it's 30,000 students in 30 days, and we'll get more information. But you also you explain why you wanted to do this.
Yeah, that's the why. And we tapped into all of our partnerships across the industry and across the world, the federations we support, the school groups we support, to try and get them on board with this. And just like you said, the goal is we're going to have some webinars throughout. They're going to start August 13th at 1 p.m. All right, at Eastern time. for everybody who wants to join in to learn about, setting things up for success to be a part of this event. And once you engage in that and you guys are signed up, we're going to be sending out some commemorative coins we have. So this is not isolated to any style of martial arts. It's meant just to all martial arts to get involvement. So we've created these commemorative coins to also provide school owners to give to their students along with their white belt or whatever you provide your students when you sign up. We want to also give them this gift. It's got no branding on it. It just says 30,000 students in 30 days. Has some of the martial arts values. We'll put a photo of it along with this post. But that's our way of kind of chipping in to have something else excited to be a part of this and hopefully to ride our coattails on this initiative to help build this momentum and get more signups. But it's holding ourselves accountable, being part of the webinars, getting a collective group of all of our partners involved in this, and hopefully coming out the other end with a great start to the next 12 months of sales and student enrollment in every one of these schools. Because I think we all know September is a huge back to school time frame that is the optimal time for every school owner to set themselves up for success financially and in enrollment and take advantage of kids coming back to school and getting involved in everything. You guys just got done, I believe, the last 2 hours in your last seminar for the back to school business blueprint, right?
That's right.
And so, this is the way to capitalize on that and to have help doing it and accountability in doing it.
What I love about it is, in the industry, we've I don't want to say we've joked about it, but a lot of people come to us and, well, what is that you want, right? Well, they want more students, right? And so this is what I love about this initiative is this is really going to give people that step up and want to participate, not only is giving it what you want, but also giving the things that you need to make that happen with some of the accountability that goes along with that. But at the end of the day, we say that that's not necessarily what they need, right? But we say that in the business system from a coaching perspective, because a lot of times they have these systems that are broken, right? That are in their school that is not helping to maximize the revenue in their school. And by the way, that's a whole different category. So what we like to do is get those systems to where they're generating and they're maximizing revenue and then add more students. But regardless of where anybody is at right now, because we've been doing this show for, what has it been, 7-8 years now, Metz? I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. And we're always trying to give value and help people take their schools to the next level. And at the end of the day, I think regardless of where you're at, the new students are always the water to feed the roots of the trees, right? And so regardless of what your business systems are, those things can get fixed. But everybody does need new students at some point. Even when those business systems are fixed, we all, of course, need new students. So I think it's kind of a double whammy here. Not only are you getting what you want, you're getting what you need, right? You're getting the new students, but you're also going to have the how-to to be able to go out and the resources to be able to go do that, which is great.
Well, and hopefully some that we can provide people to again get out there and have a message to send to potential parents and potential students, and to approach a school or approach a mass enrollment event with the support of Century, if that carries weight with anyone, to have that kind of corporate support, that this is a nationwide initiative that they're a part of, and it's not just them going out on their own. It's part of a group of martial arts across the country.
Right on.
By the way, and I'm gonna they just posted a link here too to learn more about that. But look, we also know this industry is also filled with diehard traditionalists, that the culture and the martial arts training comes before the business, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, as a martial artist, I think the one common denominator is that we want to impact more people with martial arts. So whether you teach in a park for free or you have a commercial establishment, anytime you can get more students is a good thing for the community, for the instructor, for the teacher, for, like you said, everybody wins on this, whether it's the CRMs, the product companies, the communities, the kids. So we can all agree that everyone should get behind this. But if you want to do something in this industry where you want to enroll more students than you ever have, you got to be willing to do things that you haven't done. and not everybody is into that, but that's what it's going to take. But the difference is now you have an entire industry working together. So it just feels different. Tass, you bring this up all the time. In Maya, we have certain events, certain things that we do, and they're the most successful things that we do because everybody's doing it at the same time. And you believe there's definitely something to that, this common denominator, which is also why we're going to be doing these webinars into September to just keep the fuel on the fire, so to speak, with everybody on there, working hard to try to accomplish this. So it's going to be it's going to be fun for sure.
And when you talk about the collective group getting together and the impact that has, I can tell you that it's fact, because what we saw during COVID was everybody in the industry had their back against the wall, and we were all fighting like hell to keep our businesses alive because we were adversely affected by that. But the amount of people taking to the internet and then coming out of COVID, kind of seeing the insane spike in martial arts participation out of the gate as people really want to get back to the gyms, it was unlike anything I've ever seen on the internet. So that the collective kind of martial arts trending online every day when we opened up our social profiles, because we have a lot of data that we get to look at being at Century, and I mean, it was like every day you wake up and it's thousands of people talking about it. When thousands of people are talking about the same thing on the internet responds. And that can be in person showing up, that can be in schools showing up, that could be in social media. I mean, the power of having that phone in front of you and everybody talking about the same thing, it's real. And so that's kind of what we want to hopefully achieve in getting the entire industry and in trying to funnel everybody's intentions of new signups during a period we are already all know we're doing that in our back to school time period, and really make that impact count during the month of September.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll give us something to celebrate and come together as a team on, right? We've seen there's a lot of times where social posts are a lot of banter back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that, hey, let's put that stuff to the side. Let's all align on something we can all agree on, because we're not talking about, are we charging testing fees or aren't we? Are we doing this? Are we doing contracts or not? Like, we can all just agree to disagree on that stuff, but we can all agree that more students for everybody is better for everybody. And I think if we can have a little bit of fun with that and make it exciting and get behind that initiative and that effort, as opposed to, why are we battling each other? This industry is hard enough as it is. Why are we having this constant conflict? So I think this could be the wind that gets under some of the wings to maybe take people to another level. And heck, who knows what can happen, right? Next year we may come back and go 30,000 was nothing. We need to do 50,000, right? That would be the hope.
That would be my hope.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Metzger said, there's no gotchas in this. There's no big pitch at the end. There's no hidden sales thing. It is 100%. I mean, Century is making a pretty big investment in terms of the money needed to get these webinars going, and we're sending out free gifts and we're doing all this stuff. So we've made an investment, but I have no intention of trying to have some big sales aspect to this. It truly is just a genuine. I know that eventually it'll come full circle, and if there's more people in martial arts, eventually Century is going to benefit. But what we really do here as a company. Yes, we sell martial arts equipment and product, but we really sell martial arts. I mean, we wouldn't be working so hard on everything associated with Maya, with Black Belt, which we now no longer own, if we didn't believe that we're selling really martial arts participation. And if that means that somebody ends up buying from somebody other than Century, then I wish they would buy from us. But in the end, I'm just happy that we got a new person involved in martial arts.
Yeah, it's funny because some people that are listening to this are thinking that, wow, this is great that Century is doing something, just for the industry, to grow the industry. But what people don't know is the Martial Arts Super Show was specifically to bring this industry together. And is it safe to say, Mike, that wasn't for a financial gain, that Super Show?
No. It was actually for a financial loss.
That's exactly right.
It was
I don't
important.
think people know that, though.
I know, because we don't like to make everyone feel guilty about it, but it's not meant to be at all. It was the biggest celebration we had as a as an industry. And the only time we really got to all get together and have some collective growth and kind of pushing things forward. And, my father always used to say it was what separated us from being guys in pajamas. I like not to use that term, but it was what separated us from becoming a professional industry. And so, before, he felt like people didn't look at our industry like professionals, that we could run businesses, we could have curriculums, we could really get down to and have value put into our business. But with Maya, with the Super Show, the intention, and I think the ultimate result was, we professionalized our industry. I mean, people take martial arts very seriously now. There's many small business owners, many large business owners, and it's the real deal. So again, we want to constantly be pouring that kind of investment back into our own industry to make sure that we're looked at as the way we should be, professionals. And I'll invest in that the rest of my life to make sure that this industry is seen that way.
What have you seen from your perspective, Mike, with the industry in the last 5 years?
Well, last 5 years was those that made it. COVID was rough. It was rough for Century, and it was rough for all the schools on the front lines. But coming out of it, there was a huge desire for participation and people to get back out there and really be in person to do anything, but gyms in particular. And they wanted to get back to school. So I think we saw an initial rush back into the schools, but as that has kind of worn off and things are getting back to normal, it's the inflation aspect that started to take its toll on the consumers, to the actual students and their parents. And so I think we're seeing a little bit of a lull in signups. That would be my initial reaction to it, but I think that a lot of that has everybody holding their breath until after the election. So hopefully it's short-lived. But our industry continues to truck along, and I think martial arts is changing, but the business model is not necessarily. So martial arts will always be martial arts and always be great schools, and people will always be coming to participate in martial arts. It just looks a little bit different on the mat.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, though, this is not something that the industry needs to be afraid of. What we need to do is we need to change a little bit how we do business. And by the way, this is one of those things, right? This is something that everybody should be participating in, because if you really get behind this as a school owner, and a thank you for Century for pushing this, because all of you listening or watching, you're going to be the beneficiaries on the front lines, obviously, if you get more students. But I always say, for as disciplined and as good as we are at martial arts, we're a lot of lazy people. I mean, and you know who said that? Who also said that without me even bringing that up is the immortal Matt Brown, the UFC fighter Matt Brown, who's tough as nails, just retired, and he's in the Maya program, and we were talking, and he said it best. He said, people come up to me and say how disciplined I am, and he goes, I am not disciplined. I just love fighting. I love training. I love it. He goes, I got to learn how to discipline myself to do this business stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, he has been. And the thing is I think that we brainwash ourselves as an industry, and we make excuses for ourselves as an industry. And also, it's also why this industry looks for just the golden nugget. Like, what's the thing that I could just pay for, and all of a sudden I'm just going to get all these students, right? You got to work. You got to work. So if we're all in this together, this initiative, and everybody knows, people follow people. So if everybody knows, look at all these other people that are doing it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. You all, I'm talking to the martial arts school owners, you might just have a record enrollment month. You might just have a record, regardless.
Be the goal.
The election coming up, or regardless of inflation, because you're working a little harder and a little smarter. And so I would hope that everyone gets behind this. We are committed. Century is committed. I know, Mike, you're using resources there, manpower, people, you know, to do this.
I'm using resources there too.
That's right. That's right. The thing is we're all putting in the work.
Yes, we are.
We just need the school owners to believe and to follow suit. And like I said, it's going to be fun, especially with the coins. I don't know where, maybe it's on the thing to just, if people wanted to see a sample of the coin, I said,
when this gets posted, I'll get a little photo of it and I'll put them out there. They're actually pretty cool. They're pretty cool. We'll send everyone a certain amount for free, be involved, and then if they want a bunch more of them, we'll just kind of cover our cost on what we can do it to send it out to people. But it's an exciting gift for students. I know my son's 7 years old. He wants 5 of them, so I'm sure there's going to be lots of kids out there that want to get their hands on one. But like I said, I want to make sure that the election and inflation, those aren't great excuses for people not to be continuing to try new things. I mean, that's what forces you to try new things. That just means that the current group of people that you're advertising to, you're trying to get involved in your school, maybe you fished in that pond. You need to go think of a different way. And I think if people haven't done some of the things we're going to be talking about for the 30,000 students initiative, then like you said, Mr. Metzger, you got to get outside your comfort zone and try new things, and you got to put some work in. But these are great ideas and they're tested, and you guys have vetted them for being successful. And so if they do it and they get out there and they put themselves out there in their school and their business, they will be successful, and they just might have one of the record enrollment months they've ever had.
And Miss Ross, it's kind of like a challenge coin, right? But what's cool about this is, we'll explain this on the webinars, but just for the people that are watching, right? What's cool about this is every lead that you get, everyone you encounter, you can tell them if they ever thought about joining martial arts to really see the values and benefits that it can bring to their child or to themselves. You enroll this month, meaning September, and you were part of a national and the first international initiative where we want to try to enroll 30,000 students, and you will get a coin that you'll never be able to get again. I mean, I think that's a really cool call to action for all these martial arts schools that are participating. And especially if they have a sample and they can show them, because for the rest of that child's life, right? Even if they quit martial arts 6 months later, you're not throwing the coin away, right? And then at some point you could say, I was actually a little part of this initiative, and this is the coin I got, when I joined martial arts and quit 3 months later.
But people lose their belts and their uniforms. They talk about how they used to have one, but I don't know, the coins, they always stick around. And so I've got my personal shelf. I have challenge coins from the state of Oklahoma to things for the United States government. I keep those things. And so
I know Tass, we just vacationed. And he brought all his Boy Scout patches to show me. Really cool.
Did you get your Royal Caribbean Challenge coin that they gave you
I have
for all your hard work?
Exactly. Right. Yep. Anyway, I think it's fantastic. And again, I can't stress enough, we like to have fun and have a sense of humor, but for all of you watching this, if you really got a peek behind, if you're ever in the area, because I know Oklahoma City is a big vacation spot this time of year.
Well, it just might be for the martial arts industry, because I got, we are narrowing down locations for the Super Show.
Did you hear that? That's an exclusive, folks. So be on the lookout for a Super Show. But anyway,
Olympics coming to Oklahoma as well.
I'll tell you, it was 25 plus years ago. I don't know when it was that I flew in and got the tour of Century, met the people behind the scenes, right? All the players. I'm talking from the call agents there to some of the overseers of different departments. And that was it for me. And that's when you got all my business. And like any business, there's been challenges, there's been ups, downs, doesn't matter. I am a loyalist because of what you stand for. And if people that really know who I am know that I do business with good people, and I will not do business with people that I feel lack integrity or anything else. And you guys in Century are good people. And so I would encourage anybody, if they ever have an opportunity to get to Century and take a look and meet the people, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. There is always an open invite too. And anybody who knows, you guys all know Katie Wicks. She's helps with our Century Martial Arts Facebook group. But I think that's the easiest way to contact her. But if anybody is ever coming through Oklahoma, wants to come to Oklahoma, we do teach martial arts here. We all train. We have 2 gyms, and we would love to host you. So reach out to her, reach out to me personally. If anybody ever has aspirations of scheduling a trip or just stopping by, our door is always welcome. So anybody's welcome to come by.
That's what I was going to say earlier. When I went out there again, this was years ago as well. I went out there, I think, to shoot some videos or something, and then Mr. Dillard, your father, pulled me aside. He's like, "Shane, you teaching class today?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." I mean, that was all I could say was like, "Yes, sir. I guess I am." I hadn't planned on it, right? But yes, sir.
Yes, if you do come, you might plan on teaching class because that's
right. That's right. But I remember sitting down. We sat down. We were just getting warmed up. And he was showing me his surgery that he had and his X-rays and all of his stuff. And
I remember. I broke his hand.
Yeah, right. But you don't. I don't. You people have seen, if you've ever had a challenge with Century, and you don't just bitch about it, but you actually call somebody to talk to them, you're going to realize how great the customer support is, number one. But if you can go there and actually go in and get the tour and see the call agents and see how things are done, man, it just gives you a whole different understanding at where the heart of Century really is. And I remember when I was doing those videos, I actually brought a buddy out with me, and he literally switched over all of his stuff from where he was at over to Century because of that trip and because of seeing where Century's heart really is. So, yeah, I mean, we say that it's hard to get it through the screen, right? But if you actually go there, you can actually experience the people, and really have a better understanding of where everyone's heart and head is at. It's pretty incredible. Did I hear you earlier, Mikey? Did you say something about the Olympics is coming up, Oklahoma?
The Olympics are coming, rowing and river rafting and some other things coming to Oklahoma.
Really?
City about it.
Interesting.
The LA Olympics, we're one of the host cities.
Okay.
Probably not the ones that are going to get advertised all over the news, but
right on.
No Orlando, but it's growing.
Love it.
It's too hot here.
Yeah, do you guys have the humidity?
Yes.
So real quick to sum this up with this initiative, everybody, you can click that to learn more. But again, we're going to be doing some webinars that are going to be starting the 13th of August, right, leading up to September for preparations. We're going to be giving you deliverables, things that you can use to help with the push of getting new students. We're going to be coaching you through. We're going to get into September. We're going to do some webinars as we're into it, doing Q&A, taking questions. What are you facing? What are the challenges? We're going to be there every step of the way with you to try to accomplish this goal of getting 30,000 students in 30 days. So you can click that and be on the lookout for more information on this, as it'll be here before you know it. And here you also access to a workbook with a step-by-step guide with all of the graphics and assets needed to implement the marketing strategies that will be presented, an online portal that hosts all of our video trainings and assets, ongoing coaching and accountability through the duration of the initiative. And I'm going to say it again, there is no cost to be part of this, and there is no sales pitch at the end. It is just a push. It's an initiative led by Century and then Maya to help you guys just accomplish this. So that is the information. And it was funny, I was looking up because they're like, are you going to tell them all the stuff they get? How would I remember that?
And then you'll get our gift from Century to help give to your students once they sign up. So we'll also have that as part of it. And I guess my only ask to the martial arts community, the school owners, everybody who's listening, is help us spread the word on it. This is not to be selfish or our ego, anything. I just want people to get involved. So it doesn't have to be from Century. It just selfishly, I just want to help people get enrolled. So you guys help spread the message, share this, share some of our posters or posts that we put out. You're going to be hopefully getting a lot of that in the next 2 weeks as we lead up to our first webinar. It's going to be on August 13th. And then it's going to really start going in September and carry through with a couple more webinars to follow up and hold each other accountable on it. And then we'll tally up and we'll see how we did in October.
Love it.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you on everything that you and Century do, and we appreciate the time, and we're excited. So click the link, guys, and get involved. You know, this will be great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I hope it's exciting.
Thank you, gents.
Right. All right.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
everybody. Appreciate everybody tuning in.